Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Great to be here. We're dipping into some recent tech updates, mostly from the end of May, beginning of June 2025. Trying to make sense of it all for you.
Exactly. Cut through the noise, find the important bits. We've got AI tools, browsers, space stuff, security worries. Quite a mix.
Definitely. Let's jump in. AI is, well, it's everywhere in these updates.
First up, Perplexity Labs.
Yeah.
This sounds like a big deal for their pro subscribers.
Yeah, the sources paint it as this tool that can, whip up reports, spreadsheets, even dashboards, pulling from the web, running code, making charts.
In about 10 minutes, they claim.
That's the headline figure. It basically acts like a super fast research analyst. Now, they do mention it might not be perfect,
Sure, cutting-edge stuff rarely is right out of the gate, but the potential.
Oh, absolutely. Automating that kind of synthesis, it changes things for knowledge work. Big time.
And this AI push isn't just in standalone tools. We're seeing it pop up in browsers.
Right. The browser company, the folks behind Arc, they might sell or open source Arc to focus on a new AI browser, codenamed Dia, apparently.
And they're not alone. Opera's building one.
And Perplexity itself teased one called Comet a while back. It's like a mini browser war, but focused on AI integration.
So the browser becomes less of a window and more of an assistant. Is that the idea?
Seems like it. Filtering, summarizing, interacting for you. It really makes you wonder how we'll use the web in, say, 5 years.
And speaking of AI just showing up, Gmail's now doing automatic email summaries with Gemini.
By default, yeah. You have to actively go and turn it off if you don't want it.
Which is telling, isn't it? AI isn't opt-in anymore.
Exactly. It's becoming part of the furniture. Kind of like that Mary Meeker report mentioned in the sources, this AI wave is different, a real revolution. Default settings are a subtle sign of that shift.
Okay, let's pivot a bit. From software AI to, well, some pretty intense hardware and defense collaborations.
Yeah, this one stood out. Palmer Luckey, the Oculus guy.
Right, who had that complicated history with Facebook after they bought Oculus.
Well, his defense tech company, Ondural, is now working with Meta, Facebook's parent company.
Really? On what?
They're building extended reality, or XR, devices, specifically for the U.S. military. The Eagle Eye family, they call it.
XR, so augmented virtual mixed reality for military use.
Yep. Think advanced training, simulations, maybe battlefield awareness. One source directly linked it to the metaverse concept, finding a serious funded use case.
And it also shows that Silicon Valley shift, right? More companies getting into defense work.
Definitely a trend noted in the sources. Now, if military XR isn't sci-fi enough for you...
How about making computer chips in space?
Bingo. A UK startup, SpaceForge. They believe growing certain crystals in microgravity leads to fewer defects.
Fewer defects means better materials for high-end chips, I guess.
That's the logic. And it's not just a pipe dream. They've got $30 million in Series A funding.
Wow.
Including from the NATO Innovation Fund. And Northrop Grumman is a partner. They say it builds on, 50 years of research.
So serious backing for some seriously out there manufacturing. Okay.
But back down to earth, there are some less optimistic updates too. Security breaches, for instance.
Yeah, LexisNexis Risk Solutions had a pretty bad one. Over 360,000 people affected.
And it's the kind of data. Names, birth dates, addresses, phone numbers.
Social security numbers, driver's licenses.
All of it. Super sensitive PII. A hacker got into their GitHub account somehow. The risk of identity theft for those affected is huge.
That's awful. And then there's this other security incident involving the White House Chief of Staff.
Susie Wiles, yeah. Her personal phone was hacked. They got her contacts.
Okay, bad enough, but they used it.
Worse, they used the info to impersonate her, contacting other officials. And get this.
What?
The source specifically says AI was used to impersonate her voice.
Whoa. Deepfake audio for impersonation at that level.
Exactly. It adds a terrifying layer to phishing and social engineering. How do you trust a voice on the phone anymore? It shows how AI is becoming a tool for sophisticated attacks.
Okay, that's quite sobering. Let's lighten things up slightly. App updates.
Please. Good news for iPad owners. WhatsApp finally has a proper iPad app.
About time. So it works with Split View, Stage Manager, all that multitasking stuff.
Yep, takes full advantage of iPadOS. Much more usable on a tablet now.
Okay. And Tinder is testing something. Height preferences.
But apparently it's not a hard filter, more like it nudges the recommendations based on height preference. So, Tinder being Tinder.
Refining the algorithm, got it. And Meta launched a video editor. Edits.
Yeah, it seems like a direct shot at ByteDance's CapCut, which is super popular. Meta wants its own tool in that space.
Makes sense. Okay, shifting to business news. Big money flying around. General Catalyst put $1 billion into Grammarly.
A billion with a B. For a 16-year-old company, it's a massive bet on their future, probably fueled by AI advancements in writing assistants.
They plan to use it for sales, marketing, maybe buying other companies.
That's what the sources suggest, aggressive growth and consolidation, basically.
But there's a flip side to AI in the workplace, also mentioned here. Job cuts.
Yeah, that World Economic Forum survey, finding that 40% of employers expect to cut jobs where AI can automate tasks.
40%, that's
Yeah.
significant. A real potential downside of this AI boom.
It highlights the displacement concern. While AI creates jobs, it clearly threatens others. It's a major societal issue flagged in these reports.
And quickly, on the legal side, Uber's being sued.
By a company called Karma Technology, patent infringement allegations over 5 patents.
Is this new?
The lawsuit is, but the sources say the dispute goes back almost 10 years, so it's been simmering.
Okay, and just a weird final detail from one source. Elon Musk's government efficiency project allegedly left a building in a mess.
Yeah, a sworn statement mentioned water damage, rats, roaches. At the U.S. Institute of Peace HQ after they left, a messy footnote to a high-profile initiative.
Right. So bringing all this together, AI everywhere, transforming tools, raising security risks like voice fakes, military tech, space manufacturing, big investments, but also job worries. App updates, legal fights. What's the big picture?
It's really the acceleration and, frankly, the infiltration of AI into almost everything. It's boosting capabilities like with Perplexity or Grammarly. It's changing interfaces like the browser ideas.
But it's also creating new dangers like the voice impersonation and fueling anxieties about jobs.
Exactly. And alongside that, you see tech pushing boundaries in defense with XR and even off-planet with space manufacturing. It's complex, fast-moving.
And relevant to everyone listening, right? This isn't just industry news.
Not at all. It impacts your work tools, your data security, the economy, how you communicate. Staying aware helps you navigate this, well, rapidly changing digital life.
Which leads us to a final thought for you to chew on. With AI becoming default in things like email summaries and being used nefariously for voice impersonation, how much control do you actually feel you have over the AI interacting with your life?
And what would asserting control, a phrase mentioned in one source, even look like for you as an individual in this environment?
Something to ponder. Okay, that wraps up our deep dive for today.
It's a lot to track, but hopefully seeing the connections helps make sense of the pace of change.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.